3 seconds to let go. My sister gave her exactly 3 seconds. 3 seconds to let go of the door before I detain you, she said calmly. Her voice was smooth, unshaken, like a steel wire under velvet. Across from her stood a furious woman in her late 40s named Pamela Grafton, yanking at my sister's car door like she was trying to exorcise a demon from the vehicle. What Pamela didn't know, what no one in our overly landscaped, HOA rule neighborhood knew, was that my sister wasn't just another newcomer with an attitude and a muscle car. My sister, Rachel Monroe, had just returned from a classified 3-month undercover operation chasing illegal weapons traffickers across 3 states. And in that moment, standing in the sun with a barely raised brow and a steady voice, she was holding back a tidal wave of federal authority. And me? I was standing across the street, frozen in place, holding a paper bag with avocados and frozen pizza, debating if I should start filming or start praying. It all began 2 weeks earlier. Rachel had shown up at my place unannounced, tossed a go bag on my guest bed, and said, "I need a break. Just a few weeks. Low profile." I didn't ask questions. You know when your sister has burner phones labeled by state and 2 passports. You just give her the Wi-Fi password and hope the neighbors don't question why she checks all exits before she eats. I live in East Willow Terrace, the kind of suburb that practically came with a complimentary golden retriever. Vinyl fences, mailbox regulations, monthly HOA meetings about things like mailbox color and recycling bin etiquette. And patrolling all of it like some self-appointed suburban sheriff was Pamela Grafton. Pamela, to put it simply, was the human embodiment of a printed screenshot. She kept physical binders of online neighborhood drama. She once screamed at a teenage boy for skateboarding on the sidewalk because, quote, "it disturbs the squirrels." When Pamela first laid eyes on Rachel, something cracked. Rachel drives a matte black Dodge Charger that hums like a sleeping beast. She wears aviator sunglasses at night. She has tattoos. She doesn't attend the HOA socials. And worst of all, she parked on the curb in front of our house. According to Pamela, that curb is technically communal property, and she treats all communal property as her personal domain. Pamela didn't waste time. Less than a week in, I heard shouting, Pamela shouting, which sounds like a tea kettle mixed with a moral panic. By the time I got outside, Pamela was halfway inside Rachel's car window, finger wagging furiously. Rachel, iced coffee in one hand and phone in the other, didn't even blink. Then Pamela made the mistake. She grabbed the door handle. Rachel locked it. Pamela yanked. I dropped the pizza. That's when Rachel gave her the line that would soon be heard by millions. 3 seconds to let go before I detain you. Pamela let out a laugh so haughty, so theatrical, I thought she might burst in a song. Detain me? Were you a mall cop? Rachel stepped out of the car. Now, Rachel's not your stereotypical Fed. She's 5 feet 6 inches, lean, moves with a strange grace, like a dancer raised in a storm. She doesn't look like someone who could kill you with a pen cap and a soda can. But she is. Pamela stood there, smug, hand still on the door. Rachel reached in her pocket, pulled out a black wallet, and flipped it open. U.S. Marshal's badge. The temperature dropped. Pamela's face contorted. She blinked. Her hands twitched. Rachel, still calm. Turn around, ma'am. The whole block froze. Mrs. Delaney peeked through her curtains. Mister. Han opened his garage door and then just stood there. A kid on a scooter paused mid-ride. Pamela screamed about rights and conspiracies, but Rachel had her zip-tied and seated on the lawn within 20 seconds. It was like watching origami done with a hurricane. And then she said it. You have the right to remain silent. I recommend using it. That moment should have won an Emmy. The footage from a Ring doorbell went viral in 4 hours. By morning, Suburban Karen versus U.S. Marshal was trending on 7 platforms. Remixes. Memes. Someone turned Pamela's shrieks into a dubstep drop. A t-shirt went viral. 3 seconds or zip ties. Rachel didn't flinch. She had it coming, she said, sipping coffee in our backyard like she hadn't just turned East Willow into the internet's favorite soap opera. But that was just the beginning. Pamela wasn't done. She couldn't be. It was her nature. She began compiling evidence. Surveillance log. Printed screenshots. Notebooks with timestamps and bold accusations. She bought binoculars. Real ones. She tried to follow Rachel one morning and got stuck behind a garbage truck. She marched into the HOA office with a manila folder and demanded Rachel be evicted for vibe violations. They told her to leave. She called them deep state puppets. Then she went legal. Filed a civil complaint accusing Rachel of impersonating a federal officer, violating noise ordinances, and inflicting public humiliation. The paperwork included memes. Her lawyer, who also ran a vape shop, sent Rachel a cease and desist written in Comic Sans. Rachel laughed, used it as a coaster. Then Pamela made her biggest mistake yet. She hired Lenny Ferris. Yelp rating 2.3. Mustache that looked glued on during a power outage. He started tailing Rachel. Rachel noticed immediately. "You think that guy's with Pamela?" she asked, pointing at a Corolla with mismatched hubcaps and a man trying to balance a camera and a burrito. She waved at him. Every time. It drove Lenny nuts. But in his blundering, he stumbled on something real. In a photo he took trying to catch Rachel stealing Wi-Fi, he accidentally snapped a man unloading gear from a landscaping truck. Rachel froze when she saw it. She knew the man. Scar above his brow. Name: Leon Ortiz. A former mercenary. Now a courier. Arms. Drugs. Smuggling. And he was operating 3 houses down. The truck? Green Horizons Landscaping. Rachel contacted the bureau. They confirmed dummy address tied to Santiago Vega, a missing informant from Rachel's last op, the one that went sideways. Suddenly, everything changed. Rachel was reinstated off the books. She didn't tell me at first, but I saw the signs, quiet tension, the way she checked her mirrors, the badge tucked beneath her hoodie. Meanwhile, Pamela ramped up. Laminated flyers. Facebook posts. Neighborhood meetings about psychological warfare through gardening. But her chaos had triggered something real. Green Horizons wasn't just mulching. They were running drops. Packages. Invoices as code. Drug shipments disguised as insulation. Rachel tracked it all. Then came the frogs. 3 plastic garden frogs delivered by mistake to Pamela's porch. She opened the box, screamed about surveillance tech, and marched them down to Green Horizons' base house, swinging a rake. At 2:13 p.m., Pamela stormed the yard. Within 90 seconds, Rachel, the DA, and 2 units swarmed the property. One man tried to run. Rachel took him down. Another agent uncovered a buried duffel bag full of cash. Pamela, zip-tied again, screamed about mind control fertilizer. Leon Ortiz, calm, said nothing. Rachel, cold and efficient, cracked a network that had evaded feds for over a year. All because a suburban HOA enforcer couldn't handle someone parking on the curb. Pamela's trial was a circus. She represented herself, brought laminated mind control charts, claimed Rachel was a psyop sent to destroy suburbia. Rachel gave a crisp, factual testimony, presented security footage, surveillance log, timestamps. The jury didn't hesitate. Guilty, obstruction, assault with a garden tool, inautorisée surveillance, 6 months probation, 100 hours of community service, permanent ban from HOA leadership. She appealed, called the judge a government muppet, was escorted out. Rachel didn't gloat. "Let's go home," she said. 3 weeks later, Pamela moved out. No rants, no flyers, just a for sale sign and a moving truck. The neighborhood exhaled. But Rachel didn't relax. "Vega's still out there," she said. A month passed. Quiet. Too quiet. Then one Saturday, a new couple moved into Pamela's old house. Friendly. Normal. But behind the truck, a black car. License plate. Red Fed for life. Rachel's eyes narrowed. The man in the ball cap made eye contact. Smiled. Rachel smiled back. Not warm. Not hostile. Just aware. The war wasn't over. It just moved next door.